Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Quick Break Games, and today I'm going to be ranking the top 5 minigames within LEGO Party. Now, in total, there are currently 60 minigames in the game, so this will be my personal top 5 favorites to play. These are going to be the minigames that I'm always going to vote for when they show up as one of the 3 selections while playing the main Challenge Zone mode. Now, I will say numbers 3, 4, and 5 on this list are pretty interchangeable for me, whereas numbers 1 and 2 are definitely my top 2. But anyways, here's the top 5 minigames in SMG Studios' LEGO Party. At number 5, we have Grapple and Go. This is a minigame where each player takes turns playing one at a time, while the other 3 players spectate. So what you're going to be doing in this one is grappling through this tunnel and collecting new ropes so that you can keep swinging, and the ultimate goal is to travel the furthest. This is sort of like a Spider-Man web swinging game almost. The controls are super simple here as they're just one button. The challenge comes in with the timing. Sometimes you may want to hold on to a rope a really long time so you can let go at just the right moment to gain a new rope, or other times you might want to let go quickly and swing super fast through the tunnel. This one can be pretty replayable as well, as it does take a few attempts to get more accustomed to the way the physics work, and the obstacles within the tunnel change each time you play. After all players have gone, whoever ended up swinging the furthest wins the game. I always have a good time with this one, which is why Grapple and Go comes in at number 5. Now at number 4 we have a minigame called Museum Mayhem. Unlike the last one, here all 4 players are playing at the same time, so each player has their own vase, which they're protecting from a giant globe that's going to be kind of bouncing around the museum. The goal is to knock the globe into your opponent's vase and ultimately have the last vase standing. In terms of controls, you're really just going to be using the control stick or D-pad for this one. Usually 1 or 2 players will get knocked out fairly early on, and the last 2 players will often duke it out for a little while longer. And the longer that the game goes on, the faster that the globe bounces around, making it super unpredictable. Something kind of interesting about this one is that once a player's vase is eliminated, they're not completely out of the game. They can still move their character around and hit the globe and influence the game, so I kind of like that aspect about this one. The eliminated players still have a stake in the game, and they're not just bored, watching the other players play. So for these reasons, Museum Mayhem comes in at number 4. At number 3, we have Kraken Up. This one takes place on a pirate ship that's getting overtaken by a kraken. The kraken has 2 tentacles that will circle around the ship, so you need to avoid them by running and jumping over them. It starts off pretty easy where you can just run around in a circle to avoid them, but the kraken slowly speeds up to where eventually you're going to be jumping constantly to avoid it. Players will get eliminated as soon as they touch the kraken's tentacle, one by one, until the last man standing wins. So this is a pretty fun elimination minigame. You really need to time your jumps carefully, especially as the tentacles speed up. This is a pretty simple one, but I always have fun with it every time it comes up. It's pretty short too, so it keeps the game moving, so that's why Kraken Up comes in at number 3. Number 2 on the list is Dance Off. Now, as a huge fan of the Rock Band and Guitar Hero franchises, Dance Off was definitely going to make it in my top 5. The gameplay isn't exactly like those games. This is a much more simplified version, but the general idea is still there. Each player has a colored note highway with 3 lanes. There's going to be little rectangle notes coming down the lanes, so you get points by dancing in the correct lane that has the notes coming down. Hitting more notes together will build up a combo of up to 8 times, which I guess is a reference to the max multiplier in the Rock Band and Guitar Hero games. But it's super important to maintain that times 8 combo as long as possible to get a higher score. This one gets pretty tricky towards the end of the song as the game has you sort of zigzagging across the note highway to hit everything. If you do manage to hit every single note without breaking a combo, the max score is 2,711. Let me know in the comments if you've managed to achieve that score yet. But I do just love the gameplay in this one, so that's why Dance Off comes in at number 2. Okay, now before we get to number 1, I have an honorable mention with the minigame called Icy Heisty. In this one, you have to press several sequences of buttons in the correct order to crack open a safe. So really all 4 players are racing to see who can crack open the safe first. If you press the wrong button, it restarts you back to the beginning of the sequence, and the sequences get longer as you near the end, so messing up becomes more devastating. I love this one a lot, but there's a different version of this minigame that I had to place at number 1. Of course, I had to put Quick Bricks at number 1. This is Quick Brick Games after all. Now, this one is essentially a modified version of Icy Heisty. Instead of cracking a safe, you're building a Lego vehicle of some sort. Gameplay-wise, you're still pressing buttons in the correct sequence, but it's slightly different. In Quick Bricks, there's just one large sequence of buttons instead of multiple smaller ones, and the penalty for messing up, I'd say, is less severe. It just kind of moves you back one button. So every player is going to be button mashing their controllers all at the same time to see who can get to the end of the sequence first. This minigame really tests the muscle memory that you have for whatever controller that you're using. My favorite is the Xbox Series controller, so I'm able to press the buttons pretty fast, but I imagine if I was using a PlayStation controller on someone else's console, which I don't use nearly as much, this game would be much more challenging. I've also heard that this minigame is a bit harder on a PlayStation controller because the button prompts on screen look more similar to each other, whereas with the Xbox button prompts, each one is more easily color-coded, A being green, B being red, etc. So Xbox controller users might have a little bit of an advantage with this one, but let me know what you think about that. I'm always having a blast with this one, and of course it's named after me, so Quick Bricks has to come in at number 1. So those are the top 5 minigames in LEGO Party. Do you agree with my list? If not, let me know what your list would be in the comments below. There are so many good ones to choose from that I almost made this a top 10 list instead. If you'd like to see my top 5 least favorite, or what I would consider the top 5 worst minigames, let me know and maybe I'll do that video sometime in the future. That's going to do it for this one. Be sure to give it a like if you enjoyed it, dislike it if not, subscribe for more content like this, buy LEGO Party if you haven't already. I'll see you guys next time here on Quick Brick Games.